Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in front of me I do have a payday top-up prepping haul, and it really doesn't look like a huge amount, does it? I have bought extra bits that are not shown here, things like a little bit extra of cat food, cat litter and few bottles of water, but believe this or not, my shop today came to way over £100, and I gotta say it was one of the most depressing days or shopping experiences I have ever had. And it's not that we've seen or not seen a price increases on pretty much a weekly basis, because technically I've done my last prepping haul in Lidl and other shops literally 14 days ago, so 2 weeks, and it was my best prepping haul ever. But today, for some reason, seeing certain changes, it kind of got me a little bit upset, because I had to leave certain things in the supermarket, and it's not the first time. It's happened for everybody now, because we now have to make selective choices between things we buy for the prepping pantry and things we buy for ourselves in a daily basis. And to me, food is everything. You know, I would like to be able to enjoy food and buy what I want to buy, but unfortunately things doesn't work like this for anybody, unless of course you're a millionaire. Nonetheless, guys, as I said, I popped in there to do a little stock up, and the reason I started or reason I wanted to pop into the Lidl, because one of my viewers suggested that it's a good idea to stock up on sponges, and I'm like, definitely a good idea, because what we're finding right now is very cheap items I seem to be disappearing or going up in price like a lot, and I mean a lot. So nonetheless, so that was kind of my trigger point. I had sponges, believe this or not. I bought about 7 years ago a multi-pack from Booker, which is a wholesale, and I believe I paid like $4.99, and it was like, I don't know, hundreds of sponges, and I'm literally now just down to probably like half a pack. So it was a good reminder, so thank you who did that. Nonetheless, so I'm gonna just go through with you, and of course guys, if you do follow the channel and my prepping hauls, you know I'm not just covering the prices, we do look at other things and the suggestions and the things to look out for. So guys, without further ado, let's kick off with the shop. So as I have started with Lidl, let's actually proceed with the Lidl. Yeah, so sponges, they are currently had 2p off. Woohoo! 47p for 10 sponges, okay, which is, I think, still a fair price. I remember, right, in Tesco's many years ago, a pack of the sponges used to be 19 pence. I don't know how many years ago, but quite a few. Nonetheless, 47p nowadays for a bunch of sponges, I think it's a fairly good price. Moving on then, they have the Excel week, okay, and you got to be really careful when you are looking at something that is apparently meant to be Excel size, which technically indicates to you that the prices will be better than buying things in smaller packages. Well, it's not always the case. Nonetheless, so here, right, we have a big pesto, right? So this pesto is 550 grams, and it was £1.99. Lidl small pesto, which is I think 170 grams, the smaller normal size pesto jars, is 99p. So you can see by far this is already better value. Don't forget, it'll sit in the fridge open for a few days. If not, you can actually freeze that if you're doing this in small portions. But nonetheless, I thought that was a good idea. Then I'm moving on to nuts. I always say to you guys, nuts, it's absolutely must have for prepper pantry, for any pantry, as a snack, healthy snack, good fats in it, absolutely good. So nonetheless, right, I picked up some roasted cashew nuts, roasted and salted. They were £1.39 for 150 grams. Okay, so I picked up 2, because originally they had those in the XL size, but it worked out to be dearer. So I picked them up and then I put them back because it was actually cheaper to buy. I get more weight, and then I get obviously better value by the price as well as the weight by buying individually. So every time you go, keep an eye on either price per kilo or just trying to keep your sort of tally in your head to know, so you don't get shortchanged, because they worked out quite a bit cheaper. Roasted and salted peanuts, they actually one of the cheapest still in Lidl. This is 200 gram pack, and they are 59p. I'm pretty sure Tesco's do the same size bags. They are 99p. So probably not a long time until those guys will catch on. So I've got a couple of them. Right. So currently they have. It's not really a prepping item. It gets used now as the summer coming up, but they've got some sun protection stuff on at 15% off, I believe. So it works out to be quite a bit cheaper. And to what I read online, people are generally quite happy with the Lidl's skincare, so I thought I'd give this a go. This one was like £3.22 for the kids. You've got the other oil stuff. There's plenty of choices there. There was, I can't see where written down. It was £3, a little bit more, £3.49, and then you go a little after sun at £2.45. As I said, not a prepping item, but again, it's always advisable to have those kind of things, especially if you do live in a hotter climate. Nonetheless, right, so moving on to Lidl cat food. It's now obviously back up in price. It's £2.69. Used to be £2.55. That, of course, didn't last, so it's back to normal. The cat litter in Lidl is £2.19 for bag. If you know, we've got 2 cats, so I had to buy a few of them. It's 2 of them, they do eat 2-3 times a day. And of course, the same way they use their little litter box rather often. So I have to kind of buy a few of them to make sure I have plenty of that as a backup. The other thing that's really rather annoying, and one of the things that really irritated me, I gotta say, is those crisps. You see me buy this occasionally in the Lidls. We're not a big eaters of crisps, but occasionally stands out, beer, pack of crisps, you know, kind of goes without saying. Nonetheless, those things used to be under £1, and then they were £1.05, £1.15, and now they're gone up to £1.45. So now I'm seeing this, and I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking, do we really want them? You know, yes, it's really nice to have, but it's kind of one of the, not say life's luxuries, but just a minor thing. Sometimes it's just nice to have this. But again, it annoyed me because I could have bought some last week and I didn't, because we still had couple. So nonetheless, right, price is now approaching the Walker's price. And I'm like, you're probably not going to be buying that, because chances are they're going to be going up again. In the same way is their Snack Right little peanut bars. This is pretty much approaching £2 from 99p, which much is doubling, so it's crazy. But the only thing, again, is guys looking out for the deals when you see them. And I know it's really hard to make a choice, because it looks at the moment, or the way forward is going to be, is none of this, oh, let me buy what I want to buy for my prepper pantry. You got to buy what's on deal, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Nonetheless, right, so they're good, those Seabrook crisps, okay, and they're quite a nice brand. They taste quite okay. And this is here, so 12 bags, so 3 of each variety, 4 varieties, and they are £2.49. So you already can see this is kind of, you know, a better value than buying those, okay? And I think they may be somewhat a little bit nicer, but nonetheless, they have them, and I know the Home Bargains do them currently for the same price, which is, I think, is okay. Right, so moving on to Lidl, right? Another thing is the tomato puree. As they don't have a cheap tomato puree, Tesco do not have cheap tomato puree anymore. The cheapest ones now going in all those shops is £1.50. There's no way I'm going to pay £1.50 for a Asda version or Tesco's version, where you can buy a branded one for that kind of price. Nonetheless, they are now 59p. I remember paying 29p for those a little while back, probably I would say just over a year ago. Nonetheless, 59p, the price is creeping up. What really severely annoyed me is my favorite tomatoes. And I did tell you that before, didn't I? I said to you guys, they are the ones that have got added either basil or garlic or chilies, that kind of thing. And I absolutely love them, especially with the basil, because it was cheaper to actually buy them with the flavorings than to, you know, to mix your own kind of thing sometimes. Nonetheless, okay, I did warn you, they are now 79p. Like 79 from 47. This is crazy. I'm looking at it like, whoa, I'm never going to be buying you again. This is one I had from my pantry. I'm never ever going to be buying those tomatoes again. I just cannot see the point of spending on something that's pretty much doubled in price because of it were onion and garlic and basil. Now I have to do this myself. But nonetheless, also because one of you suggested that apparently the Muzi Pulper, apparently really good value for money tomatoes. Right, in Tesco's, they currently do them for a £1, reduced from £1.50. And this is a standard size tin, but some of you saying that they are really good because it doesn't have much juice, they just have a more tomato like pulp, basically, hence the name of the pulper, then they have water. So technically you could dilute that and it pretty much yields you 2 of the tin tomatoes, the basic tin tomatoes. Nonetheless, as well, the date on them is really good. And the fact is that their tins, right, are really stiff, like really kind of, because they're rigid, they seem to be really good. The only thing is they don't really stack, or they don't stack at all, not really, they just don't stack. Nonetheless, the point is, I had a look on Amazon, and they are doing loads of options. They do organic, they do ones with basil, they do ones with other stuff, and they are currently at £1 per tin as well, if you buy 6 or 12. Whether they're doing this to match Tesco's at the moment, I don't know, but I'm going to be giving them a go. And if they are as nice as some of you are suggesting, that is going to be my probably next go-to. Because as well, I've noticed that no Tesco's, no Asda, like I mentioned in my last shop, have a cheap tin tomatoes anymore. They're pushing 50p and that's that. There's no 25p like used to be alternative, not in plumbed, not in chopped. They just disappeared. And many of you are commenting as well that the cheap stuff is just not there. The same, believe this or not, applicable to the baked beans. I know people have been told to stockpile and prepare, and I think people generally will go for a cheapest things. And the beans out of stock in my local Tesco's and in the Lidl. They only have the posh ones. Nonetheless, right, as we are on the beans, yes, Lidl. Beans with a pull cord, they're 41p. The cheaper versions, they used to be 29p. Not there. Whether they get them or not, I don't know. Right, one of the other things I did quite like in Lidl is the aubergine, okay? I never tried this before. But again, it's got the same tin as those. Really rigid, really thick. And it looks like it's a whole aubergine in some sort of sauce. I'm like, okay, let's give that a go. Reduced half price from $1.99 to 99p. The date on those is 2030. I'm amazed because quite often when I bought this brand, they actually have really long dates on their jars, on everything, by far extra couple of years on the top of everything else. So if you are ever in Lidl and they have the deal on those kind of things, or this week, then have a look, because yeah, I'm gonna give them a try and hopefully they're nice. So they've got even that certification as well, geographical identifications, the one I mentioned to you on one of my olive oil videos, I believe. So nonetheless, 99p, I got some of them, so you give them a go. Another thing was interested. It's a new sun-dried tomato ketchup. So I'm like, okay, let's have a look. And of course, I'm like, let's have a look at the ingredients list, because, well, you know, we're now doing the food exposed. I don't want to be buying too much of something that's pretty, you know, full of chemicals, which majority of things are. Nonetheless, though, I was pretty impressed. It does have water, paste, red wine vinegar, sun-dried tomato, blah, blah. Passata tomatoes, acidity regulator, that's fine. Some more tomato paste, garlic. The only thing it's got is rapeseed oil and modified maize starch. Everything else looks pretty natural. So I'm like, okay. And it's vegan, apparently. No, I'm not vegan, but I'm just saying. So nonetheless, it kind of looks like not a bad deal. And this was £1.49 for 280 grams. Right, next thing, I've got some more sweet corn. They are 65p, that stay the same. Tesco do one at 62p, but I did say to you, it's full of sugar and salt, like added sugar and salt, which I don't like. So that's for extra 3 pennies, I think is a good option. I not giggled, but I said to my husband the other day as well, a little jars of sweet corn I used to like, because he doesn't like sweet corn per se, so I would like to have the small jars, the little tiny pack of 4. They used to be just about a pound. I think £1.79 now for 4. It's cheaper to pretty much by volume buy 4 of them and then feed half of that to the chickens if I don't need that, rather than buying a small packet. This is what I don't understand. You got to be like really clever, guys. When you shop now, do pay attention to the volumes, okay? Because it's what we have to do now. It's ridiculous, but nonetheless. So passata, right? I still have some passata that I bought a few weeks back with my prices, and it was still 55p. So I'm rather glad. But something tells me that very soon those things will be coming up to probably 79p as well. So if you are looking to get some now. They're 500 grams. For now they're holding on, but nobody says they will go next week and they'll be even maybe double that. Who really knows? Right. Now, what else we've got in Lidl? Oh yeah, cheese. I'm not going to show you. I bought some veg as well, but that's not really. The cheese I think is still the same, or was it one up 10p? It's £2.79 for 400 grams. So I think it's up by 10p. Sorry, I've forgotten now. But nonetheless, right, that's that. And I think in terms of Lidl, this is it. Right, one thing I did have as a highlight of my day, really depressive day I shall say, is a freebie. Because you know Lidl, if you do have a Lidl app, if you spend past a certain amount, you get yourself like little freebies or discounts. And the options were the high protein granola with the honey and seed, or there was like a porridge pot. This was £2.69 and the porridge pot was like 69p, and you can have either. And it's like, okay, well, let's think about it logically. I don't particularly like either. Non the pots, I don't buy them, but nonetheless, well, this is a good one for prepper pantry. It's kind of a better value for, you know, for your freebies. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. Nonetheless, I got that. So it's either get eaten or gets packaged in a mile back and somewhere in the cupboard. So that's that. Right. That's Lidl. Right, next, not a lot, but let's go with the Tesco's. I popped in there to get some beer, which is not here on the display. Anyway, they were clearing, not say clearing really, but the baked beans and sausages, they're generally 50p. They're reduced to 42. The date on this is 2027, March 27, so I don't know what, maybe they're rebranding. Not really huge discount, but you take any discount now, it's 8p off. You take what you can now, don't we? All right, and then, yeah, mustard. Again, that was a bit weird. I haven't bought mustard for quite a while, because I had one. I had a few as a prepper, but I seem to be noticed that I've misplaced or forgot where I've put them. Nonetheless, I couldn't find mustard. So Tesco is now doing 4 for the price of 3 on condiments. And for some reason, I just decided to go for mustard. Anyway, my point is, obviously being now doing the food exposed videos, first thing I now do, I look at the ingredients. In fact, well, first thing I did when I got home rather than in Tesco's. Nonetheless, okay, so options here, we have the Coleman's mustard. There was £2.30 for 57 grams. We have Coleman's mustard that is already ready mustard, £2. And they had the American yellow mustard, they were £2.50, but obviously individually. So technically I only paid for 3 and I got 1 free. And look at the ingredients, okay? So to me, that would be the purest things, which is absolutely is. This is just the mustard powder, and to make mustard with that, which I never actually tried, I used that for the rubs. Anyway, you just add on 1 to water, let it stand, and hey presto, you have basically pretty much that. It does have the ingredient is mustard flour. So it's grained mustard, not grained, sorry, powdered mustard basically. So that's that. It's good and fine. And then we look at this, and here we have water, mustard, flour, sugar, salt, wheat flour, turmeric, citric acid, and thickener, xanthan gum. And again, I did say anything with the gums we do not want to be consuming, and I'm actually surprised that it's got a gum in a mustard, considering it's just mustard and water, mustard, flour, and mustard, but nonetheless, it's there. Nonetheless, it's not as bad. But then this one, to me, I would expect it to be maybe a little bit worse. I don't know. But this one's got water, vinegar, mustard seeds, salt, spices, and flavorings. Okay, we don't like the word flavorings, but because we know it could be a majority of nasty things there, nonetheless. Can't be the yellow mustard. It's one of those things. Yeah, I can't make my own like that. I need to learn it probably. Nonetheless, I'm going to stop talking. But nonetheless, that was to me, for those kind of things, I think that's crazy amount of money. I think it's silly. £2.50 for just like a little crappy thing, considering you can buy the branded version, but it's not what they say. Not branded. Tesco's branded. Nonetheless, right. So this was, I believe, Tesco's Accomplished. Yes, it is. So next one is Home Bargains. So I buy all my water from Home Bargains, and because I'm doing some reshuffling and rotation of some water, I basically decided to go and stock up a little bit more. I found, right, some fizzy water from Booker's that was 2.5 years past best before date. It was still fizzy, not overly fizzy, but still fizzy. And of course, it's still safe consume. It doesn't taste like plastic, that kind of thing. This is my point I'm pointing out, because I know some people always say, oh my God, you cannot keep your bottled water in the bottles because, yeah, microplastic, that kind of thing. We're buying stuff for, well, in water, in case of the water, is rotated anyway, apart from when I forgot to misplaced, basically, and haven't rotated that big pack. But nonetheless, they already have a couple of years date on them. So another couple of years. So your water could be sitting there for 4 years. As I said, it didn't taste plasticky or anything. So if you're doing your water preparedness, and this is the your best method of stocking up on water, just please don't worry about it. There are people that say, no, yes, you can only store, or you should only store water in glass bottles. Okay, the Perrier, whatever you can buy in the glass bottles, is pushing £3 or over £3 per 1 litre bottle. Glass jar, be it a bowl glass jar or whatever glass jar that you can can the water, it weighs half a kilo by itself, or 400 grams by itself. And majority of us do stock, store stuff kind of potentially sometimes on, not on the first floor or ground floor. So the weight is really, really important. So yes, hypotheoretically, storing your water in glass containers is better, but certainly none of us have probably finances to buy those kind of bottles or the jars or the weight capability of our houses to stock that. So the point is, cut the story short, guys, if you're like thinking of water and you're just starting, we covered the thing with the water purification tablets and harvesting and the water filtration, absolutely. But I still suggest obviously having some water in fairly, not say large quantities, but as many as you can fit somewhere and hide them under the table or whatever, then I suggest you guys have them. Nonetheless, right, sorry, I'm digressing. 12 still waters. Okay, so 6 litres there, £1.79 in Home Bargains. And they do the fizzy ones. They are 6 bottles for 99p, which is by far, they are still the best. And in my local one, they still have now, again, the big 5-litre bottles for 99p, which are absolutely brilliant to be able to then to store your rice or porridge oats in them. Nonetheless, right, other thing I bought in there to try is the one of those is a passata rustica. So they are £1.50. This ones are 680 grams. Not the best of the values, but I want to see how that compares by taste, because apparently, and I might cover this in one of my food exposed videos, but apparently the stuff that we're getting in different brands, apparently it's coming from China. Tomatoes are grown in China in not at a good of a environment, if I can put this politely. I need to research that further before pushing this out, but nonetheless, I just wanted to try this and see if they're really good or not. Right, another thing, I bought this before, guys. I showed you those little cheesy biscuits. I'm not even going to look at the ingredients on this. 49p, and there are 125 grams, little pack, ideal for home, keeping them about with a bit of a long life pate if the electricity goes out, that kind of thing. And I bought them, again, I bought them without looking at the ingredients. And sometimes it's probably best not to. Those are little crackers, okay? You've seen their salted, savory crackers. There's 6 like that. They're in the little packs, 4 packs, so perfect to take. It's a little pack lunch for a little one, or whatever. Anyway, so they were 89p. Sorry, a little bit of the phone disturbance there. Nonetheless, sorry guys, they were 89p, and I did like them because they come in the package. But when I look at the back and I look at ingredients, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Nonetheless, okay, the point is they're a good idea because they do come, looks like, in the 4 little packets. So, for an emergency, for kind of, quick access, quick snack type thing, they have to do. Anyway, so that's good. So that's that. And the last bit, again, something to let you know, keep an eye out for, in the Home Bargains, for little wiplets and things like this. I can't seem to find, for quite a while now, the little camping towels, which I bought and I showed you, the big ones. They're like body wipes, but big ones, really wet ones, because like, again, for the power outages, that kind of thing, for camping, if you don't camp anywhere near where they've got like a blocks and stuff, they're really, really handy, but I haven't had any. Nonetheless, though, for ladies, or for blokes anyway, they do some face wipes, and they're really, really good value. They do different types, but they're 2 for £1, so it's 50p. And I've tried them, they're actually quite nice. They're just refreshing, they're taking makeup off, but 25 wipes, but come on, 50p, right? If they're sealed, they will sit there, for, the date on that is actually February 27. So if you keep them somewhere cool, not in a hot, hot cupboard, it lasts a couple of years to make sure that you, get yourself at least semi-cleaned with a little bit of that. So that's that. So I think that covers all the bits here that I've got. And the only thing as well, my highlight of my miserable shopping day today was trip to Asda. Not a lot there, but some pork, Chinese style pork steaks. There were £1.18 for 4, so I bought a couple of them. One's ready in the freezer, and then I've got, that smells so good, and I've got some chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs, which are gonna again make my little one probably some chicken nuggets. Anyway, it might sound like a lot, but £3.99, but this is 1 kilo. At least you're not paying for, for the bone weight and that kind of thing. So I think it's pretty good. Reduced from £6. They always cut off the rest. £6.14, I think. So I thought, to me, that was probably a fairly good price. Nonetheless, guys, okay, that's that. So the moral of the story is, as you're probably aware, things are a little bit harder. And I don't know why, it just for some reason really got to me today. It really got to me, the fact that things are no longer, not saying what they used to be. It's been changing for, I'm watching this, I'm doing this, I'm reporting to you guys what's happening. But for some reason, it's just really frustrating to know that next week I'll go again and I won't be able to buy maybe this kind of passata because suddenly it's, doubled in price and that kind of thing. We're all totally aware, guys, what it is. So the point is, I think, if you see something that when you go this on the deal, just buy that. Okay, I think, as I said to you, the days of going up and like I used to do, buying bits, I wouldn't buy this, and this and that, and this is my, fitted in within like 15-20 quid. I was gonna do my prepping hauls for a fit like £15, like you suggested, but to be fair, I don't think you'll be able to get a lot nowadays for £15, or if you do, it won't be much of a variety. So I think the time is to, yes guys, if you spot something that is of a good value, then stock up on that, and then wait next time. If you see something else, stock up on that. And the key point as well, when you do buy something for your prepper pantry, pay attention to the prices and the weights, okay? Because things are deceiving, and we know the supermarket's not there to help you trying to make a better choice for you. They're trying to make more money. This is how it goes. So nonetheless, so there we are, guys. We'll hopefully have find this video helpful, or enjoyed this video. A little bit of information there for you. And yes, well, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, of course, thumbs up. It does help the channel and the video. And thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.